right. I think it's past 2, by the way, on this Wednesday morning, actually. Past 2 on this Wednesday morning. I really should have stopped recording probably an hour or two ago, but these ideas are again consistently just running through my mind, and I'm just very, very passionate about continuing them with the conversation of them on and on and on to where it's like you want to stop or you need to stop, but you just I guess it's like you need to stop, but you just don't want to stop because you just want to just get them all out and then move on to the next whenever it is you decide to move on to the next. So I mean, I don't know if I'll fully post this video, but it's definitely worth a try though. I mean, it ain't the first one I done filmed with myself, you know, lying down, fully clothed to talk about something that was randomly on my mind through whatever else, so forth and so forth. So, I mean, I guess definitely the thing I wanted to talk about, one of the top things I wanted to talk about, was the epidemic considering of, like I said, people having, babies out of wedlock who negatively live, in, I want to say people who negatively live in poverty, let's put it that way. People who negatively live in poverty and are having babies out of wedlock left and right, and who, in many cases, I think it has come out within recent years, if not forever, I guess you could say, that one of the reasons why they're having these kids out of wedlock, period, will be so they can purposely get money from the government to help take care of them and etc. And the way I look at that as, I don't fully know if that statement is true and factual, so forgive me if there's flaws here and there with that statement, but I can assure you that, you should definitely always, try to, avoid abortion at all costs. You should definitely always try that. And other than that, I definitely really wish the men had the guts and or the true, BALLS to actually stay, and raise, and help raise their child, and it's just amazing that a lot don't. But like I said before, when you look at all the negative statistics of which keep repeating themselves over and over and over again, a lot of there's men everywhere, but towards real men who know how to teach and teach, preach, and I want to say practice, it's definitely, really, really, really hard to find. You have a lot of men who have been sold out, been sold themselves to negative lifestyles left and right. Even some women who have, again, done the same thing left and right. But I think the epidemic has been more men who've done it than women. And to where, like I said before, they don't really realize that they're doing the devil's work. And it's just, like I say, it's been torn apart families, and it's been left, predominantly the woman, in there as like the lone survivor to help hold everything together. And and I talked about this subject on another previous video. I think it was with my proud promotion of FLVS and K through 12 homeschooling. I think I talked about it in that video, and it was pretty much, like I say, me discussing the entire thing of how it's like, this is why I think and strongly believe that more youth groups need to be formed, especially, like I said before, if you live right across the street from a church or live right around the corner and or in walking distance from a church, that more youth groups need to be formed, because this is an epidemic that these are epidemics that so many have the, power and ability to stop, but they just don't do it. And I definitely believe that, especially when it comes to the churches in our communities, I feel like our churches have a bigger calling, but have definitely not fulfilled them in many cases. That's my opinion. Nobody has to agree with it. And definitely, I'm 20 years old. I've told practically a lot of people to wait till marriage, and I have a lot of people looking at me like I'm absolutely crazy when I encourage them to wait till marriage. A lot of people absolutely believe that for them it's, impossible to wait till marriage, or it's impossible to only have it one time outside of wedlock and then get married and then do it however many times you do it then. I mean, a lot of people seem to make it seem like that's just impossible to do. But I can assure you this, if you're, truly saved in the word through Christ and strong in your faith with Christ, it's not hard to do whatsoever. It's not hard to do. That's how you truly separate the weak from the strong. And like I said before, when it comes to the weak, it depends on who's going to, accept responsibility and go seek that spiritual help of which they need that will strengthen them to when they're confronted with that challenge with a woman, on to have out of wedlock sex, they walk away from it, strongly walk away from it, and they encourage the female themselves to stop their actions, towards wanting it, and say no, you should wait till marriage too. But like I said before, I've been around the guys many, many times where they've asked me these key questions of, if she did this, if she did that, would you give in? And I'm telling them absolutely not. I can understand at times the temptations to give in, but I'm telling you straight up, that's what separates the weak from the strong. That is literally what separates the weak from the strong. And again, not everybody has to agree with what I'm saying, but it's literally embedded within the spirituals. That's literally what separates the weak from the strong. Is the ones who, if when they're in that situation, what are they gonna do? How are they gonna respond? Are you going to be like, no, I'm waiting till marriage, and you should too, or are you going to be like, hey, what the, and just then indulge in your indulge in those desires and other stuff like that. I definitely look at it, like I said before, to turn back to the church part of this entire segment. This is definitely Believable Faith Ministries, I think so, or this is both. I think this is more Believable Faith Ministries than the mentorship stuff. But I've said it before, and I really strongly do believe this is where a lot more youth groups need to be formed, and a lot more kids need to be encouraged to go to these youth groups and truly, again, indulge in fellowship. Because I'm telling you, again, we live in today's day and age where I'm telling you, the evidence is, again, 2 + 2 right there. I've seen some of these neighborhoods where these houses are completely tore down, broke down. The grass is overgrown, and it definitely looks like the city has completely forgotten about these people and or don't care, and they could just rot for all they care, And I'm telling you, that's a part of, again, a lot of people's everyday sin is completely ignoring their neighbors that are living in that poverty. And like I said before, and then you wonder why the rise in crime is up, and you wonder why babies outside of wedlock is up, and you wonder why all this stuff is up because of, again, because look at what you live in. Like I say, the evidence is darn straight there. I mean, I don't like seeing as many people on food stamps nearly as they are on food stamps. I mean, but like I said before, I've heard the conversations where it seems like all that's important to some of these people is getting this and that check. Not a lot of people seem to, again, care about the spirituals of anything. Like they'll darn straight agree with you here and there, but they're not ever really going to exercise their will to do better with the spirituals that are presented towards them. And like I said before, that's just one of the things that, when you look at the blueprint of it, it's just amazing, honestly. It's just amazing. Because, there's a huge disconnect when you have a city that has churches on every avenue, but yet the crime rate is still through the roof. The suicide rate is through the roof. The murder rate is through the roof. But yet you have a church on every single avenue, every single corner of your city. That's a huge disconnect. So many of these churches are walking distance. Huge disconnect. There's huge disconnects. I don't know how many people are really ever gonna come to grasp with this. It's a huge disconnect. And more needs to be done. More has to be done. some which way more needs to be done has to be done. And like I said, I am definitely one person, but I can assure you that through Christ which strengthens me, I'm definitely gonna do a lot more than than what meets the eye. I would definitely say. I mean, don't fully know how to finish that sentence, but you know, I'm definitely gonna keep on trying to own this, and so forth. Like I say, you see these commercials for the ad council. God bless all these commercials that I've seen that are totally trying to bring about that new cultural change, because I've seen quite a bit, quite a few. But it's not, like I say, it's a disconnect, because it's still a disconnect, because I think we've known forever, and if not forever, we've known for quite a long time now, about the negative effects of drugs and alcohol. But yet so many people still keep turning to these as their outlets for stress relievers, and for, instead, like I say, instead of meditating and trying to, focus on Jesus, you would rather turn to um to liquor and to smokes. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's the disconnect there. You're still turning to those to drugs and alcohol. You know, and like I say, I said in any other videos, ladies and gentlemen, it's just that it's all most of these wounds are so all self inflicted. They all are. Majority of these wounds are so all self inflicted, and it's just amazing to see people keep on doing this to themselves day in and day out, and then you wonder why all these negative rates are where they are. And again, I really want all churches to look at themselves in the face and think to themselves, why is this disconnect so big? Why do we have church on every single avenue, every single corner of this city, but yet people still lack spiritual discernment and moral code? Why is the murder rate still up? Why is the suicide rate still up? Why? I really want all churches, definitely all churches, and all people who claim to be religious and spiritual, and down with Jesus Christ. I really want everyone to look at themselves in the mirror and think to themselves, why do we have all these epidemics going on? And stop ignoring them, by the way, because again, they're right. A lot of these epidemics are, again, right in your backyard. They're with your next door neighbor. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. It's quite amazing, isn't it? Quite amazing. By the way, if I didn't say it before, shout out God bless to NF with his song titled "Let You Down." I'm definitely watching it on the Olympics channel. I don't know if it plays on any other channel, but it's this brand named TYP with their motto title "Always in Front," and his song "Let You Down" made the I guess you could say the theme song for one of their swimming commercials. So God bless NF with that. I'm very happy and proud of him, these efforts, and he's definitely making a huge impact right now. He's definitely getting bigger and bigger, and he's definitely one of those real rap artists that that definitely deserves that attention, the time, and the promotion. He definitely deserves it all. Definitely making much needed waves in the mainstream. I remember when Lecrae's album Anomaly came out, and supposedly that, I don't know what week it was, but supposedly whatever week it was, it was the #1 album in the entire country for a week or two, and that was completely phenomenal. I haven't checked out his new project with Zaytoven yet, but that's titled "Let the Trap Say Amen." So again, God bless those guys. God bless the movements. God bless the cultural impacts. You get the points. And like I said before, watch out for the disconnects and try to help heal. Because I'm telling you, one of the top things we need to focus on more in today's day and age than ever is how are we going to help heal this culture? Because I don't think too many focus on that. We need to try to help heal this culture, ladies and gentlemen. Heal this culture. And that's the side that I've chosen to be on, ladies and gentlemen. And for anybody who looks up to me, that's one of the top things I want y'all to realize. I want y'all to take from me. What are you going to do every day to help heal this culture versus what this and that guy and person might do to help keep destroying it negatively? God bless. Once again,